Hello, lovelies. This is Lynn. Welcome. Today is an Ask Me Anything live, and I've got a couple topics that I'm going to chat about until some people show up. So, first of all, I saw that Nelly Furtado is quitting performing for the foreseeable future because of body shaming. And I'm, 99.99999% certain that Nelly Furtado will never see this video. But if she or somebody else ever does, I have some older woman advice, older fat woman all my life advice. And that is F them and their opinions, go live your best life, because you can live for what everybody else says, but you can't take that shit seriously. And it's not about you. It's about all the stuff that other people have been conditioned to believe. And they don't matter. This is your life. What do you want to do with it? You don't have to ever perform again if that's what your heart says not to do. Madonna one time said, it doesn't matter what you do. You will always be criticized. You will always be told, especially as a woman in any industry, but particularly in the music industry, you will always be taken advantage of. You will always be not played on the radio. You will always be second best and having to work harder than anybody else. So don't listen to those voices. That is their all the things that we have that fill us up, all of the emotions, all the trauma tend to spill out and land on everybody around us. So any body shaming that's going on is a reflection on them, not on you. Don't take that in. Don't accept that as your truth. Know that your beauty does not have to be defined by what media and society says it is. Says this is what we think is beautiful, because it's not. It's not. Okay. So I wanted to next I wanted to take a look at how the No King's Day stuff is playing out. Yes, I do. I know that got under the Donnie Boy's skin because it's particularly thin and he does not love the pushback. So let's see what the universe has to say about that. Ooh. Voice of the people, relentless determination. That is right. We're not having it. We are not having it. Typical narcissistic behavior is it's my way or the highway. And what he doesn't realize is that this is his selfish agenda. And he is facing a massive fall from grace. There's other stuff that's coming out too. Knowledge withheld. And strained relations. I know he's in the Middle East this week. Possibly today. I don't remember what day he's traveling, but I know he was going to Japan and then either South or North Korea, but I don't recall which. I know that there are a lot of people, a lot of um, leaders of other countries that are chomping at the bit to get in the room with him to talk about the tariffs and what that's doing to worldwide economy. I also saw that inflation has gone up like 12%, 12 to 15% over the last few months here in the US. And that is a huge amount of inflation. Then to pop in to that, the government shutdown and the people who aren't getting paid, and the hold on the SNAP funds for November. I don't know what November is going to bring, but I don't. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. On top of that, he is desecrating our house. He's already squatting there illegally, in my opinion. By the way, everything here is alleged. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. He got there because a deal was made. I think we pretty much already knew that. But somebody is working on a solution, and there's going to be a power shift soon. Can't come soon enough. And then our situation will be improved. And this is all because he wants to be the king. And he wants to control everything. On this card, notice the crown on the head and the one in their hands. I'm sorry, there's a glare on this. It's a beautiful day here. I don't know what our temperature is. 62 degrees, and it is bright and sunny. It is gorgeous weather today. Okay, so the other thing that has been roaming around in my head is the I'm careful about how I say this because some accounts that use this term get braked. They get suppressed. And I'm a fairly new account. I have, I value every follower I have, and I want to see that build. So being suppressed, especially at this time in where my account is, I'm very careful about that. So I'm going to call them E-files. And I'm, pretty sure you understand what that means. What I got the other day in a dream was that they're not being released because there's too many breadcrumbs in it. Too many puzzle pieces that anybody can just look at and see where those puzzles are. I have the uncanny ability to, like, for a word search, I can look at the word search and the words just like pop off the page. I do them really fast, which is why I don't do them, because they're not challenging to me. And I suspect that those e-files are the same way. Like the puzzle pieces, those bits and pieces will be a very rapidly put together puzzle. It'll be like kindergarten, like 5-year-old puzzles for the adults in the room. Oh, there's 10 pieces and boom, boom, boom. There you go. It's done. I think that's why they haven't been released. And I think that's why we're not going to see them released. The other, there's a lot of very high-powered, high-money people involved, and they don't want this to be their fall from grace. The sad part is that I feel like this has been going on for hundreds of years. And what I mean by this is going on for hundreds of years is that I believe that children have been bought and sold for this purpose. Kidnapped. All those things. And they're, unfortunately, some of them are very disposable and have been disposed of. I believe in the next 2 years, there's going to be findings around the E Ranch in New Mexico. Of people who were unalived as an act of this particular gosh, it's really hard to pick good words here. Bear with me. I know it's kind of going slow. Sorry about that. You may want to speed this up to 1.5 speed. I know I talk slow. Sorry. So people who were unalived on the E Ranch by the clientele who very much, this is making me nauseous, who very much enjoy doing that to people. Are we going to have all release of the e-files? Are we going to have a release of the e-files? So the card that just fell out is the Hanged Man in reverse, and that means that there's a lot of delay, a lot of frustration behind that delay as well. There is a lot of people with money that are hoarding money, and that it's about the money involved, and it's about the money involved. This is, the last card was the Four of Pentacles, and this one is the Ten of Pentacles. It's because this is a generational thing. It's a legacy. Not releasing these files means that people are secure, and releasing them means that people will fall from grace. Huge fall from grace. Let's pull one more. Okay, maybe more than one. The Hermit is our next card, and for this one, this is normally a period of introspection and understanding, but not always. Oh, this is interesting. Cattail. Cat who doesn't like to be touched much. Until she wants to be touched, and then it's like me. This is very interesting. So I feel like there's a possibility that somebody who has access to the entire file is going to drop it. It's going to be dropped on the dark web first, so it can't be traced. And then it's going to make its way to the public domains, to social media. And I feel like that's going to happen in about the next 6 months. That's interesting. The Chariot card came up. Chariot is about trafficking. It's about traffic. The Moon card is here. All those lies are going to be exposed. And there's a lot of lies involved. When they do, the Three of Cups, we're going to be celebrating that we finally know the information. And then finally, we have the Page of Pentacles. This one is a young voice. Who's going to speak about all the abuses. The women, the victims, not just women, because men are victims, young boys are victimized as well. They're going to speak up. And the lawyers for the victims who've come forward so far would be very wise to find the victims who are male. Okay. Taking a note so I know where my time is. Here we go. My next thing that I want to look at is what's going to happen with the White House and the ballroom. Show me what is going to happen with the White House and the ballroom. We're going to have a rulership handover before it's finished. Whatever is happening, is compromised and harmful, which we already knew. Like, we know, if you've been paying any kind of attention, you know what happened. And I saw a report a few weeks ago. I don't remember if Libby from Meister Tarot shared it or Denise Knight shared it, or they both may have because they follow each other. that showed that the NSA knew in December, without a doubt, that it had been, that the ELECTION had been manipulated. And because of that, we got an unexpected result. What's going to happen with the White House? Will the ballroom be built, or will it stop? I think the thing that really uprooted and taken out, that would be a nice day. And I don't recall what I was going to say right before that. Sorry. When it comes back to me, I'll share it. What's going to happen? And it was done all for money. There we go. All for money. Knew that as well. I think, there it is. I think the thing that really bothers me about the teardown of the East Wing on our house, the one that we as taxpayers own, is that there's a $230 million budget for building his beloved ballroom. And that money is readily available, even though we have a government shutdown and people are going without pay. Our military are going without housing stipends. People are going without SNAP money. And I've known this about him for a very long time. He has no compassion. He has no care. I also know that, and I say this when I say I know that, this is my spiritual intuition, that kind of thing, knowledge, that the government shutdown is going on because they want to delay a vote on the e-file release. That right there should tell you a whole lot about what's in those. And it should also say a lot about his fear about those being let out. Lots of escalating tensions because many people want to know the knowledge. And if you notice in the background, that's all paper floating. Oh my gosh, they're all pictures. They're all pictures of people on those papers. And look how the buildings, New York, looks like a New York street to me. And this picture always, always, always reminds me of 45's youngest son, Baron. Funny how we're talking about the e-files again, and yet I was asking about what's going to happen with the White House. The universe may have some thoughts there. What's going to happen with the White House? Show me what's going to happen with the White House. Show me what's going to happen with the White House. It's becoming an explosive situation. That's not going to go over well. And it's becoming an explosive situation because people are going without. And volcano and mountains came up. And this, to me, goes with that explosive situation because of volcanoes. Things are getting hot and it's going to explode. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but there's a 3.5% rule where if 3.5% of the nation protests, that's the turning point. That's like when that's the fall of that government. And the No Kings protest was supposedly 7 million. We need 12 million people to reach that 3.5 threshold. I believe that there were more than 7 million people protesting this last weekend. Can you tell me about the White House? What can you tell me about the White House? It's a sinking ship. Sinking ship. And that's because everything is coming to a head. Tsunami and rising water is here. Okay. I know others have read on or talked about what they've seen and the knowledge that they have, the gifts that they've been given, the intuitions they've had regarding the White House. And I have opted not to watch those yet. I'm very careful to do my readings before watching anybody else's. And all the readers here that I've watched and followed are the same way. We do our reading and then we'll go and watch somebody else's. And that's an ethical behavior. So I just want to put it out there that these are my thoughts. Organically, my thoughts. I'm not being influenced by anybody else. Anyway, I don't see that ballroom being finished. In fact, I would not be surprised if like the East Wing is torn down now. I don't know that it will even get to a new foundation. I don't know that it's going to even get that far before it's stopped. And I almost feel like it's stopped because the construction company isn't being paid, which would not surprise me a bit considering who's demanding the construction, because that's how he rolls. He has it done, he doesn't pay, and then people sue him, and he ends up giving them penny on a dollar, and literally penny, not pennies. And his method of destroying small business is that way. He takes them to court, he delays an outcome, and just the simple court costs And the delay of going to court makes people walk away. Like they're like, no, this is just not worth it. Well, there's part of me that thinks that if he had just paid his bills to the mom and pops and the bigger, even the bigger companies, the bigger construction companies and all the things that go in with construction, if he'd have just paid them what they were owed and not paid the lawyers, even even okay. Something that has been on my mind a lot, and I normally don't read on somebody who has recently passed, who is in a celebrity or celebrity adjacent position. And this particular person is celebrity, particularly since he died, and that is Charlie. And I don't normally I try not to connect with them because so many others are. And, it's very sensationalized, and that's just not who I am. But I've said before that I really feel like his unaliving happened because he was calling for the e-files to be released. So let's see what we get. The other part that I've been feeling so strongly since it happened, I think they both knew that there was supposedly going to be an attempt and that it was supposed to be just a sensation, just something to sensationalize and take the heat off of 45. So I have 2 cards, and what I'm asking is messages from Charlie. The first card is held down by heavy burdens. There's a lot more going on for him than we're aware of. And on this one, the very bottom here is River Pond Swamp. He was swimming in a swamp, and in those swamps, alligators live, and piranha, and sharks, politicians. What else do you want to share, Charlie? He was getting way too close to the sun. Way too close to the sun. He was, this card says hazy judgment checked out. Drugs were involved. Right now, I'm feeling like there's a possibility, allegedly, that one or the other, he or his wife, could have been cocaine users or other amphetamine users. I'm also feeling like it's going to come out that there's been mishandling of funds. And his wife, Ericka, is going to take the fall for that. He was trying to protect his family. Oh. So he's saying, we will meet again. We'll be together again. I hear that for his wife. Whom I believe he loved, and yet I also think they may have been on the verge of a DIV or RCE. Why? Ooh. Between the self-medication, one of them was feeling very abandoned, left behind in that marriage. There was another masculine presence in that marriage. I'm not sure who that connected with. Meaning it could have been his or hers. And there's a lot of lies and deception around it. And it was an older lots of power struggles and control issues. between the two of them. Okay, so that's about Charlie and his wife. Now I want to know more about her, Ericka. What can you tell me about her? That's not the right deck to use. Let's switch decks. By the way, other than my tarot deck, everything I'm using today is from Trish James Oracles. And I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Trish James Oracle, signature oracle for the one that's coming up. What can you tell me about Ericka? And how show me the next 2 years. Show me her next 2 years. What can you tell me about Ericka? She's going to be bored. She's going to want more from her life. But it's still going to be fraught with a lot of chaos, a lot of drama, a lot of turmoil. And yet at the same time, she's going to be feeling like she's just wasting time. She can't move on with her life. Why? People don't want her to change. She wants to transform and be somebody else. And there's a lot of resistance to her in doing that. The universe is telling her to charge ahead, to find her inner peace and contentment. I will say this. I know that she was in the Miss America pageant, and then she had was it a religious group in Romania that was shut down because it was a front for things that happened in the e-files. I'm not saying that there's a connection between the religious group that she had in Romania as compared to the e-files, but I'm searching for the right words. Actions and outcomes were very similar. How's that? And she has a great deal of fear that that's going to come back, blow back to her. So she's just as worried about the e-files being released as 45 is. Wow, that just came to me. When I look off that way, I'm seeing movies in my head. Wow. All right. What else? Any more messages regarding Ericka? Any more messages regarding Ericka? She is over it. She's had enough. She's had enough. And she is very ready to progress. If she's truly going to break away from what she has known for the vast majority of her late teen and adult life, she's going to need a lot of therapy. She's also going to need to come clean. And she may end up facing the judicial system for doing so. And this is all alleged. Tarot and oracle readings are for entertainment purposes only. I feel like she also needs to be very careful. If she ever decides to go public, because the powerful people who are keeping the e-files from being released are the same ones who will not hesitate to purchase her silence. I'm going to let you read into that what you will. Okay. So to wrap up today's live, I wanted to do a quick reading on a self-care moment, because we are in really difficult times and we all need that self-care moment. We all need to disconnect from the news. We need to disconnect from all the stuff that is stressful. We need to find joy and laughter and connection and love and acceptance. And one of the things that, no matter who you are, it is so important to feel like you belong somewhere with somebody. And in my opinion, as long as you're not actively, intentionally trying to harm other people, do what you will. Do what you will. Okay, so these cards have a reverse and an upright and a reverse. And in this case, this one is in reverse, but it says the important parts: embrace each element, weaving them into your story with openness and understanding, accepting yourself. Again, as long as you're not actively harming somebody else, not intentionally harming somebody else, I don't know where they actively came from. As long as you're not intentionally harming somebody else, do as you will. It is your life. Go live it to the fullest and accept yourself. I wish that somebody had said that to me when I was young. Nobody did. Or at least not in a way that was convincing. Your life is your own puzzle. Wow. And this one, see, these are, boy, are these messages all connected. Wow. Revelations await. Embrace the mystery. Embark on a journey of discovery and watch as secrets unveil before you. True intentions, stay authentic and aligned, trusting your inner wisdom to guide you toward genuine fulfillment. Wow. Okay. I'm going to call that done. That's my reading for today. Thank you so much for being here and watching and participating. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I'll be back next week and more to come. All right. Take care. I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember that you are made of stardust and magic, that you are far more powerful than you realize, and you are profoundly loved. Okay. Thanks again. Bye, everyone.